July 13th, Butler, Pennsylvania. Former President Donald Trump is stepping onto the stage just days away from officially accepting the Republican nomination for the 2024 presidential election. The crowd is massive. Tens of thousands of people have gathered in this swing state, ready to show their support. It's a hot, sweltering early evening. Everything feels completely normal. But in the shadows, just a few hundred feet away, a 20-year-old man is lying prone on a rooftop. He is about to change the course of American history, and he is doing it in broad daylight. This is the timeline of how the assassination attempt unfolded, the seconds that changed everything, and the mystery that has left the entire country asking, how did this happen? Let's set the stage. We are in Butler, Pennsylvania. This isn't just any city. It's a vital swing state, a blue-collar town that skews heavily Republican. Tens of thousands of people are packed inside the Butler Farm Show grounds. They are sitting on bleachers, standing in the open fields, and pressing against the barricades. Surrounding the former president is his security detail. Secret Service agents in their dark suits, blending in, scanning the crowd. Behind Trump, on the far left and far right roofs of the adjacent buildings, sit the Secret Service counter-snipers. Their job is to scan the perimeter, looking for threats at the maximum range. They are the last line of defense. And then, Trump begins his speech. Hello, Butler, and hello to Pennsylvania. I'm thrilled to be back. The crowd roars. He seems relaxed. He turns to his right, pointing at a chart that displays border crossing statistics. It's standard political rally choreography. But right at that exact moment, while Trump is pointing to the left, someone else is pointing at the roof of the AGR building, about 400 feet away, 120 meters north of the stage. A man with a gun. In the crowd, a few people spot the rifle barrel. They start shouting, frantically pointing at the building. He's got a gun! Someone's on the roof. But in the chaos of 30,000 screaming fans, their cries are swallowed by the noise. The security team is focused on the stage. The rooftop is vulnerable. The 20-year-old gunman, Thomas Matthew Crooks, is armed with an AR-15 style semi-automatic rifle. It was legally purchased by his father just a few days earlier. He steadies his aim. He squeezes the trigger. The first volley rings out. 3 shots. The first bullet tears through the air at incredible speed. It grazes the upper part of Trump's right ear. The former president immediately reaches up, touching his ear. His hand comes away bloody. In less than half a second, a primal survival instinct kicks in. Trump ducks down behind the heavy wooden podium. Within 3 to 4 seconds after the first shot hits, the Secret Service agents swarm him, leaping onto the stage, forming a human shield over his body with their own. They are screaming, "Get down! Get down!" while the crowd behind them erupts into panic. But Crooks isn't done. Almost immediately after the initial burst, he fires 5 more rounds from the AR-15. People in the bleachers start screaming, dropping to the ground. One bullet strikes and kills 50-year-old Corey Comparatore, a father and volunteer firefighter who threw himself over his family to protect them. 2 other men in the stands are critically wounded. Simultaneously, right before the first shot was even fired, one of the Secret Service counter-snipers on the roof behind Trump, the one on the far left, had already spotted Crooks. He had his scope trained on the gunman and was preparing to fire back. In mere seconds, the sniper takes his shot. He neutralizes the threat. Crooks is dead. But the echo of the shots hangs heavy in the air. We can hear the tense, disjointed exchanges between the Secret Service agents because Trump's lapel microphone is still on. On ready, on you. Move. Shooters down, are we good? We're clear. We're clear. About 42 seconds after Crooks opened fire, the radio confirms the shooter is down. The agents are yelling, "Shooter down, we're good to move." But the chaos isn't over yet. The agents have to get Trump off that stage. We hear him say, "Let me get my shoes." "Hold that in your head, that's bloody. Let me get my shoes." He is slightly disoriented, but aware. He walks with the agents towards the armored SUV. 75 seconds after he first ducked behind the podium, Donald Trump stops in his tracks. He turns to face the crowd, a battered, wounded leader. His ear is bleeding, his suit is messy. And then, one of the most iconic political images of the 21st century is captured. He raises his right arm. His fist pumps up toward the sky. He mouths 2 words repeatedly as the Secret Service agents try to rush him. Fight! 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 The crowd, which a moment ago was screaming in terror, erupts into deafening chants of USA! 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 That photo, bloodied, defiant, fist raised, with the American flag waving behind him, travels around the world within minutes. It instantly becomes a symbol of resilience, or, depending on who you ask, a politically charged piece of propaganda. But there is no denying the power of that frozen moment. Now, let's fast forward to the hours after. Trump is rushed to a local hospital, then flown to New Jersey later that night. He appears to be safe, physically stable. But the investigation has only just begun. And this is where the massive questions start piling up. Question number 1. Who was Thomas Matthew Crooks? The FBI begins digging. The 20-year-old worked as a dietary aide in a local nursing home. He was a kitchen worker. He was a registered Republican in Pennsylvania's public court records. But there's a twist. The New York Times reports that in 2021, he donated $15 to a liberal voter turnout group through a Democratic donation platform. Was he a secret Democrat? A confused young Republican who made a single donation years ago? Or just someone who didn't align with any side politically? He had no criminal history, no massive social media footprint, no clear political manifesto left behind. He was a member of a local shooting club, which explains his familiarity with firearms, but it doesn't explain why. Why did he choose this day? Why did he choose a blue-collar town to commit political violence? Question number 2. How did he get onto that roof? This is the most disturbing part of the entire event. The building Crooks used was less than 150 meters away from the stage. It was an elevated position with a direct, clear line of sight to the former president. In the weeks leading up to the rally, the Secret Service denied using the AGR building as part of their security perimeter because it had a sloped roof. But in their own analysis, the counter snipers were placed on the other side, behind Trump. One analysis on social media suggests the snipers on the roof behind Trump were likely scouting for threats further away, and this specific rooftop near the stage fell under the responsibility of other local law enforcement or tactical agents. But those agents never made it up there. Why? Why did they not secure the closest, most obvious vantage point? How could a 20-year-old kid climb up onto an industrial roof with an AR-15 in broad daylight, seconds before the President of the United States was about to talk about border security? The FBI also discovered suspicious devices in Crooks's car and his home. They are still evaluating whether they were rudimentary explosives or just household items that looked suspicious. At the time of this recording, the investigation is incredibly active. New details are pouring in by the minute. The Department of Homeland Security has serious questions to answer. Later that night, President Biden gives a televised address. He condemns the attack. Leaders from around the world, from right to left, also condemn the act of political violence. Yet, underneath the surface of political unity, there is an undeniable, ugly undercurrent of chaos that has now been injected into the 2024 election. Whether you support him or not, there is no denying that Donald Trump just survived an assassination attempt by mere inches. If he hadn't turned his head to read the immigration chart at that exact second, the bullet would have struck him directly in the skull. In that one raised fist, in the blood dripping down his ear, in the way the American flag waved behind his bruised face, it became the ultimate, defining image of his campaign. It cemented his image as a fighter in the eyes of his supporters. But as the dust settles in Butler, the questions remain. Why did the security forces fail to prevent this? Who failed to secure the rooftop? And what was the 20-year-old's true motive? It's a moment that exposes the failures of the system that is supposed to protect our leaders. A perfect storm of miscommunication, oversight, and human error. And right now, there are far more questions than answers. This is how it unfolded. But the investigation is far from over.